A lot of times we wear stuff and we market brands that's not paying us. And we wear this shit so religiously, you know what I mean? We got it on, the big logos and names. Explain to me how the whole jersey thing came up, because you started wearing jerseys. You was wearing the jerseys so religiously in every video, everything. We talking about sports jerseys. Throwbacks, and mostly from Mitchell and Ness that you was wearing at the time. How did it come back? Did you just start wearing it? Was they paying you? How did it evolve, and what happened?
Well, at first it was just I just liked it. It looked cool to me. I was a sports fan, so jerseys as a whole just was like a cool thing to wear. So at first I had no relationship with Mitchell and Ness. I just would go there, buy them. You know, I guess after a while of me keep seeing me in there, it was like, oh, okay. And then I was Fabolous. So it's like, all right, this guy keeps coming. So we developed a relationship there. Then I knew Big Rube at the time.
Big Rube, shout out to Big Rube.
Big Rube was also over there at Mitchell and Ness. And what Big Rube really was too was like the connection.
He was
between
a conduit.
The culture
yeah.
and Mitchell and Ness.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mitchell and Ness, I sat with the owners and he was like, we just like a nostalgic company, people who like jerseys. They like old guys who was Willie Mays fans. They'll still go pay $300 right now because they retired and they just want, that was their audience. Like people who just wanted an old jersey or old fan. You know what I'm saying? And what we came and did was put it in the hip hop world. And you know, when hip hop jump on some shit, we jump on it.
You introduced the jersey game to a whole new audience. You introduced Metro Ness to a whole new audience.
And it was a couple different aspects I liked about it too, because I had saw at one point Hove, when I went on tour with Hove, I went on tour with Clue, a part of the Hard Knock Life tour. And I saw every night Hove would wear a jersey to the city. Now, Hove didn't wear jerseys to me that much. He would wear white tees and shit all the time.
Right.
But for the
city.
The crowd, the city, he would wear the jersey. So I caught that little thing too. I thought it was like a cool connection because, like, you know, man, you in Kansas City, you wear a Chiefs jersey.
Right,
you in Cleveland, you wear a Cavs jersey or Browns jersey. So I caught that connection and I was like, all right, that's a cool little thing there too. But he wasn't wearing that outside of the shows really that much to me. He might have wore, not saying that he never wore a jersey, but it was mostly for the show thing.
Right.
So when we got back, and then like in the early 2000s, I remember that and I said, let me wear a jersey for the city, but then I also like, I'm gonna make it like everyday lifestyle clothes. Like this, you know what I mean? It's casual, it's cool, put a t-shirt on under, and it just popularized all that, because I think in the first video I ever did, or all the videos I started doing, I was wearing it in the videos. Right. So it became like my connection to me. You know what I'm saying? But going to where you were saying, that's where it started, building a relationship with Mitchell and Ness. Now at first, like I said, I was paying for them. Then it grew to a point where I would come and they would give me a discount. Then it came to where they give me some for free and ship them. And then it came down to where we had to have like a little business relationship, you know what I'm saying? Or they doing ads, or they doing, you know, things of that nature. So it just grew, and that go back to what we was talking about, relationships. You know what I'm saying? You could have came in on some hard-headed shit and blew the relationship, and it was somebody else's opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Or you could say, you know what I mean? Let me develop the relationship, see if it's a relationship there. You know what I'm saying? And then and keep it moving. So that's how my relationship grew with them. And I, you know, shout out to Big Rube, because he was kind of like you said, the connection to that, because that was it's like Big how we talking about brands and companies now. Sometimes these brands could be humongous big brands, but they have no connection to the culture.
You know, Fab doesn't get the credit he deserves for being the lyricist that he is. He's been one of the best with punchlines and metaphors for a very, very long time. His mixtapes have been banging. Them soul tapes was something that I always was anticipating when they dropped. I wasn't even a big mixtape dude. You know, Fab is a guy that needs to be elevated a little higher when we start talking about this rap thing. He's a legend, and I'm glad he gave us insight here, you know, because that throwback jersey era, man, if you wasn't around at that time, I was, 18, 19 when that really popped off? I mean, you couldn't go anywhere without a throwback jersey. I got a IU Quinn Buckner throwback jersey, and I thought about putting it on, but I just don't want to do that. IU basketball fucking sucks. Can't even wear the legendary throwback jerseys. That's how fucking bad we are. Fuck IU.
My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond.
My name is Dorian from Group82University.com, and right here we got Fabolous talking about how he made Mitchell and Ness throwback jerseys popular. Y'all want to sit here and argue about who wore them first and all that? I don't give a fuck. This is what I'm going to tell you. I was that era. What I mean by that, I was in my late teens, about to come into my 20s, so anything that was going on in the world of hip-hop, specifically in our culture, black culture, I had my thumb on it. Now, I can tell you this, once Fab really started talking that Jersey shit, it took off. I mean, everybody had a throwback jersey. They had the hats and the wave cap and the jeans with the fake NBA logos on there. It was a whole movement. I even think Eminem got involved in it. It was crazy what the throwback jerseys did. But, you know, now that we're older, we're more mature, hip-hop has aged a little bit. We all know that we were the ones that really elevated and took it to a whole other place. As Fab was talking about it, he was the leader of that. But what about the business behind it? And this is something we all can learn from this situation. So the first thing I want you to take away from what Fab said is that you always need to be yourself. He was just wearing throwback jerseys because he liked it. He wasn't trying to be, at that time, you know, the super tough macho dude, or he wasn't trying to do that. He liked how the jerseys looked. He thought it was cool. He's like, you know what? I'm about to just start rocking them. I'm about to start putting them in the videos and stuff. And because of that, people caught on. I think too many times, especially in this era of social media, we are always trying to chase what is already popping. And that does help. Don't get me wrong. If you see something that's already worked on social media, you need to do it if you think it's going to work for you. But at the same time, don't be afraid to be original. I knew these clips would work on social media because I've seen them work. Or I knew that me being myself and just talking could elevate some of these clips and get the videos out there and go further. But I really didn't see anybody doing this music business video clip breakdown entrepreneurship analysis like I do. Not saying I was the first person to talk about this stuff, but nobody's really doing it like me, giving it to y'all straight. So always be yourself because, well, what happens? Eventually, everybody starts coming along. So shout out to Fab for always being himself. The second thing I want you to pay attention to what he said when he's talking about Jay-Z is you need to connect with your audience with something that they already know. Every time Jay-Z went on tour, and I remember this era, he would come out in that city he was performing in a jersey from that city's team. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I'm from Indianapolis. And if you can see Jay-Z with a Colts jersey on or with a Pacers jersey on, especially if it's the same one you have, it shows that he's acknowledging that he's in your city and he's rocking with your team, at least for that night, or showing homage to your city. What that does is it makes people feel like they are connected to you on a much deeper level than if you just wore your own stuff. Jay-Z knew that, which in turn developed a stronger relationship with his fans. How can you do this on social media? I take clips of people y'all already know. Some of y'all watch this video, this is your first time ever seeing me, but you clicked on it because you know Fab. You clicked on it because you know Mitchell and Ness. It opened up the door and the portal for me to talk to you right now. And now you decide that you love the content, which is why you click like, which is why you subscribe, which is why you follow, which is why you share, which is why you save, which is why you comment. This is what you need to do with your brand too. My old social media content, you go scroll down my Instagram, I was being too original. It was just me. And I was talking about stuff I was interested in the same way that I was doing it. But you gotta give people things that they already know, because this era we're living in, you only got about 2 to 3 seconds to catch their attention. And if don't nobody know who the hell you are, which most people don't know who we are, you gotta put something in front of them that they do know what it is to bring them in. And the last thing I want you to take away from this clip is you gotta know your worth. You know, Fab said he started off just buying the jerseys. Then they started giving him jerseys for free. And that's when everything started clicking off in his head. It was like, yo, if they're giving me these $400, $500 jerseys for free, that means that I must be making them some money. And he matured it into actually doing a brand deal. You know, you can't just be out here doing shit for free if it's not gonna lead you to eventually making money. Now, when you're taking on an unpaid internship or you want somebody to really pour into you, that's gonna help you down the line. But when you're consistently promoting someone's product, you need to make sure that they give you some shit, especially if you have a following. Now, if you got 100 followers or 1,000 followers, hell, you got 10,000 followers. Ain't nobody probably about to pay you for shit. But once you get over that 40, 50,000 follower threshold, you need to start getting some money. That class that I'm selling right now is worth $10,000 because that's how much money you can make off of it in the next year, in the next 6 months if you really apply yourself. I'm selling to y'all for $1,000. I'm not discounting my worth. I'm meeting the market where it is. I know y'all can't afford $10,000, but if you're serious about your music career, you can afford $1,000. Set your prices. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to lose business, because it's not business if it never hits your bank account. And always know I busted my ass to get to this point. I'm an expert in what I do. I have a following that listens to me, so therefore, this is my price. You don't like it? Fuck off. If you had a Mitchell and Ness throwback, which one did you have? Told y'all I got the Quinn Buckner IU one in there right inside the comments. Do you think throwback jerseys will come back? Do y'all still buy them now? I want to know. Leave your comments in the comment section. Like I said, hit like, hit share, follow, subscribe, save. All that's free. If you're serious about making money out here, you on Instagram, click that link up top. You on YouTube, click that link in the box. Mouth the pond. Y'all stay true. Group82university.com